My name is Chris Mead. I'm Professor of Design for Regenerative Futures at RMIT University. And we've been discussing for a long time the regenerative possibilities for design, but let's be honest, the degenerative. And we've got a lot that we look behind us in the rearview mirror of design, which is pretty dark, actually. We did lots of good things. We supported globalization. We supported the scales of production to allow objects to be delivered to you, to your doorstep in Melbourne, and made far off in China in complex distributed value chains where the extraction from the planet, well, we don't need to know about it. And we're part of that, right? We're part of huge chains, supply chains, value chains in which we make great value, great co-creation. But we don't often talk about the co-destruction, the things that we've done along the way, hyper-personal, hyper-material, but actually were bad ethical, social, technical decisions. So Melbourne Design Week is outstanding. I mean, the array of critical, smart, intellectual, open, playful events is outstanding. It really is. And it doesn't by any means portray design as some kind of superhero. We're beyond that. Nevertheless, we did want an opportunity just to bring back the things that we got wrong. I mean, we've got things wrong personally, whether we were young designers, medium, mature, middle career designers, or old designers, but we still get things wrong. So how do you do that? Well, the obvious thing to talk about is a confession, some kind of private personal space where anonymity is supported, and that no attribution will go back, but stories are allowed to breathe. And so we thought amongst us, we'll use a little K-van from Japan, a tiny little thing, because we can zip around the city and attend some of the events which are telling us that design is going to solve problems. Well, let's turn up and appear outside that venue and say, get in the van. It does solve problems, but get in the van. Let's confess to the things that we got wrong as well. So that's what we've been doing, literally driving to various events. I was at an event in Collingwood last night. Really fantastic group of interdisciplinary, conscious, planet conscious, social conscious designers, all thinking through how they're making change, making good changes. But get in the van. There's a whole bunch of truth that you're not telling where you got it wrong, from interior design, architecture, packaging, product, viscom, graphics. We've all made those mistakes. So it was really terrific. And we just let people have a quiet moment, actually with an iPad in the back of the van. They're leaning into the darkness of both their soul and the interior. And they just tell us a little story. As I say, it's entirely anonymous. We don't know. They go up into the cloud. We're hoping to turn it perhaps into a small book. The website, designregretconfess.com, is a way of showing some of these. And if you drop in, you'll see these things live. We'll keep it running forever because design will keep making mistakes.
My name's Miek Dunbar, and I'm a communication design lecturer and researcher at RMIT University's School of Design. I've recently been involved with a project called Design Regret Confess. It's a small van with an iPad in the back, where people from the design community are invited to come and confess their sins or get things off their chest or share their missteps. And so my involvement in the project has been around shaping the little bit of technology for being able to go around and be mobile. My kind of way into this topic, or my interest in this topic, I was thinking about it the other day. I think after I made my first confession into the booth, which was one from my very, very first design job after I left communication design here. I was working in an agency where we had to prepare artwork for some collector pins that were going to be going out in the local newspaper. I think about 1 million pins was the order from China. When it was discovered later on that the artwork didn't quite come out right, instead of paying for the customs fees at the border, the project manager decided it would be much cheaper if they instructed the boat to discard the pins at sea. So somewhere in the South China Sea, or somewhere between China and Australia, is some reef of 1 million collector pins with completely incorrect artwork on them.
I think for me the funniest thing was actually the process of of navigating doing a really silly project for what ostensibly looked like a reasonably serious event with a reasonably serious sort of premise. For me, there's a lot of fun as an academic. There's often not a lot of space, but I think there's a lot of value in making time to make work fun for people. Whether that's just through, kind of entertainment or doing doing a stunt, like using a van as a confessional or something like that. But it was actually really fun to do that with some other academics who are also, super busy and trying to, do serious work and do all of that sort of work to sort of make some space to do something like that. I think in terms of the funniness for it, in terms of things that happened, was just the completely sort of shambolic nature of our lack of planning, and the lack of actual design that we put into a design event. I think there was something quite enjoyable about that. And also just the way in which it seemed to press a button that people were getting some value out of, even if it was just a little bit of fun, that it was okay for a big serious design event run by a big gallery and being undertaken by a big university to do things that were a little bit silly. It's good. We need more of that, I think.